or if you haven't heard about it, you've literally been sleeping under a rock. Everyone rode the trend on for quarantine. Basically runs a hooker place. What's up, guys? It's your boy Trillaatroy, and we are back at it again with another video. If you read by that title, you know we're going to be doing the most binge-worthy watch Netflix shows, series, and movies that I think you have to watch. So if you want to find out what they are, keep on watching and go ahead and do the thing. So what's up? My name is Trillaatroy. If this is your first time watching me, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I post 3 times a week. Every Tuesday, every Friday, and every Sunday. You can expect to upload from Trillaatroy. Make sure you say the Trillaatroy twice. But as you can see, and as I already told you, we're going to be doing Netflix suggestions. So what I did was I went through my Netflix history, and I kind of picked out the shows that were my favorite, and I kind of watch a lot of Netflix, so it was kind of hard, but I tried to narrow it down to 20 or less. We'll see how this video goes, but basically I'm gonna let you know what is good, what is up, and then yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. Let's cut all that chatter out. So what I did was I went ahead and broke it down to like sections and categories. So I'm gonna just spit off all the categories and the names, and I may give like a brief description about some, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So for the first little subcategory I have, it is political. So I'm gonna start off with Designated Survivor. If you haven't seen that, the show is absolutely bomb. Like, I don't want to give it away, because if you want to watch it, go ahead. But basically, it's a political show where it's about like a president, vice president, all of that. But it's about this like huge event that happens, and it like causes basically a nobody to become a somebody, and now that somebody has to rule the entire nation. Yeah, that's pretty good without giving it away. Basically, that person, they become the president, that nobody becomes the president, but like the way they became president, it's kind of tricky. Well, it's actually not tricky. It takes a while for it to develop within the show, but it's just like weird to think of. It's not, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying not to give it away, so I'm not saying what I want to say, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say, because I don't know what I'm trying to say. The next one that this is like one of my favorite shows, actually. It's House of Cards. I absolutely love House of Cards. Again, it's another like president, vice president show, and it's just like a lot of backstabbing basically in the political world, and it basically like shows you how everything really runs and goes kind of on a background level. So I really like that, and I think it's really interesting, and yeah, I just really love it. And then the last political show I have is Madam Secretary. I like a lot of political shows, and Madam Secretary is the same. You have president, vice president, Madam Secretary, which is a woman, and it's also about like her and her family, and like how they adjusted to her becoming the secretary, and how she like then later becomes someone even more important. And just a lot of drama, tabloids, all that good stuff. So the next category we have is teen drama. So we have 13 Reasons Why. If you don't know what 13 Reasons Why is, or if you haven't heard about it, you've literally been sleeping under a rock. The next one is Elite, and that's a show that takes place in like this private high school with like all of these rich kids, but then there are some less fortunate kids that go there as well that are on like a scholarship or whatever. But it's a lot of drama, a lot of mysterious killings happen, so I mean, that's why it's really nice. So the next one, this is an OG, like, I feel like I watched this in middle school, and I've already graduated high school by now, but it's called 90210. Next one is Pretty Little Liars. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up because I feel like I'm talking a lot, but the next one is Pretty Little Liars. I feel like I stopped watching the season before the last season because A was never coming out, and you were just like, who is A? Like, just get to the point. It was always something popping up. Everyone also rode the trend of Gossip Girl back in the day. That was a really good show. XOXO Gossip Girl. The next one is You. I haven't watched You, so don't come at me in the comments, but I know a lot of people who have watched You, and I've heard raving reviews about it. So we have On My Block. So I was really late to the party on My Block. I was like, nah, I don't think it's that good. Like, I only saw like a trailer, and I was like, like, it looks childish to me. I don't really want to watch it or whatever. So I literally held out, and then quarantine came and I was like, well, I don't really have anything to watch. So I was like, it's quarantine, I might as well. So I watched like the first, I think 2 episodes, and I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. So I actually watched the whole thing and I really liked it. So I would definitely recommend on my blog. It gets hot and juicy. And then this is a recent banger that just came out, maybe like, or it didn't come out, maybe it just became popular, but like Outer Banks. Outer Banks is that show. I literally watched Outer Banks in 2 days. So next we have, I don't know why I classified it as this, but it's shooting, plotting, and undercover agents. So we have La Casa de Papel. Before I say the real name, if you know what that is, go ahead and comment it down below. But the real name of that show is Money Heist, which everyone rode the trend on for quarantine. I was on game before everyone else was on game, so I already knew about it. Another one is Nikita. She's like a secret agent, kills people or whatever. It's really nice. Quantico is like an FBI academy. A lot of bombs, shootings. It's really nice. I like it. A lot of drama. Imposters is also like a girl who basically just scams a lot of people, and she makes bank off of it, and she's very good at it. It's very great. And then Shooter is about a man who is, what's the word, accused of something that he didn't do, and it gets like deep, and someone is like hunting and gunning for him and his family, and so he has to come back, and he's like a sniper, which reminds me, I think Sniper is actually a good one too. But yeah, those are like all of those in that category. Next we have like prison related ones. So we have Prison Break, which is really, really old, but it's really nice. It's about this guy who breaks into a prison to get his brother out of prison, and it works. Orange is the New Black is next. Now, I feel like this is a really good show. The other one is Close. I know it takes place in a prison. I want to watch it. I haven't started watching it yet, but I've heard really good things about it. Then the next ones are like Service for Money, so like escort type shows. Obviously it's just a show. It's not like a real life thing. But one is called The Client List, and it's basically like this massage place that basically runs a hooker place inside of it. And then the next one is Hollywood, which is a show that is like a car service place, if I remember. And they kind of do the same thing, you know, run an undercover business through that shop. And it's like about people in Hollywood wanting to chase their dreams and become a movie star. So I feel like that one was pretty good. Then we have Funny Family Problems. We have, I'm just gonna read them out at this point, and then I'll just talk about like the whole category as a whole, because a lot of these basically deal with the same thing. But we have Revenge, we have Dynasty, Good Girls, Schitt's Creek, White Lines, Working Moms, Shameless, and Grace and Frankie. I hope you're paying attention and you wrote those down, because every last one of these were binge-worthy shows. Like, they were all so good. But if I had to choose like 2, I would definitely say I couldn't choose 2. Like, these are like honestly probably some of my favorites as well. Like, Revenge was so good. Family Feud fights, Dynasty, Family Feud fights, Good Girls, like they kind of like infiltrate the drug market and create their own ring in a sense, but not really. But it's really good. Schitt's Creek, Moira, if you've ever watched that, it's just really funny. I feel like it's a good comedy show. White Lines is about like this guy that gets killed and his family finds out about it, and they try to go find out who did it, and they do. Next we have like futuristic shows. I don't watch too many of these, but I only have 3: Jessica Jones, Limitless, and The Rain. All of these were really, really, really good. Limitless was about this guy who basically, he took like a supplement and he like transformed his mind into like being this extra smart guy, and he couldn't function without it basically. Jessica Jones was superpowers, who was like DI, undercover detective. I forgot what it's called. And then The Rain was basically where if the rain touched your skin, you would die, so you stay inside quarantined, like us right now. Then we had a category, I didn't know what to really name it, but we just have Grey's Anatomy and Weeds. Grey's Anatomy is a very, very, very great medical show. It's very dramatic and really, really good, and it's a good way to brush up on medical terminology. Like, while it is like fake and acting and, you know, like resuscitating a person, it's real in terminology, and you actually get to learn some stuff about the medical field. Next, we're gonna go into movies. So all of those that I just named were like series, if you were more of a series type person. But for movies, we're gonna go Love, Dreams, and Obsessions. So we have The Wrong Missy, Always Be My Maybe, Secret Obsession, The Perfection, and then Uncrooked, or Uncropped. I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry. But it's basically about this guy who wants to become a wine connoisseur and his family really doesn't want him to. Then The Perfectionist is messed up. It's about this girl who like takes this regular drug, but then she becomes trippy because her friend basically is narrating what happens next in her life and she chops off her hand. So that was really good. Then we have The First Match. I thought that was a really good one too. It's about this girl who joins the high school wrestling team to kind of get her life back on track, and she becomes really good. Then we have Robbery, Money, and Crime, Triple Frontier, Molly's Game, Spencer's Confidential, Inside Man Most Wanted, and Den of Thieves. These are all 10 out of 10 great shows. I've watched all of these within the last 2 months. Love them all. Great 10 out of 10 shows. Now, I didn't know if a lot of you had Hulu or not, but I just added 3 Hulu series that I really liked, that I thought were worth watching, and these are all medical shows. But it's The Resident, The Night Shift, and The Good Doctor. So, The Good Doctor is a work of art, literally. It's about this guy who has autism, but he becomes a doctor and no one believes in him, but he proves them wrong because he's literally so smart. The Night Shift is about people working the night shift at a hospital, but they get these like crazy ER cases, and then it's like a lot of love and scandal mixed in with it. And basically, so is The Resident. Very similar when you think about it. So yeah, that is all of the suggestions that I have. I wanted to make this nice and quick for you guys so you can go ahead. I know we're all sitting in the house, or it's summertime, so you know you got some time off from whatever you do. If you're still working, you know, you can watch it when you get home or whatever. But I hope you leave this video with a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Again, I hope you come back. So that is all I have for today's video and my top Netflix suggestions. I hope you go out and watch some of them if you haven't, and if you know some of the ones that you have watched, I'm pretty sure you already know that they're bangers.